Hey everybody, this is Captain Adams. Hey, I had an interesting conversation today, and it made me think that I needed to reach out um, and maybe explain the charity a little bit better. Somebody said to me today, they said, Deep Blue Sea Project, I get it. You take veterans fishing. There's other places that take veterans fishing. And I thought, okay, that's interesting. So the message that we've been putting out um, has not fully encapsulated everything that we do or that we hope to do. And so I want to rectify that a little bit if I can. So first of all, just to make sure, since we're talking about boats in the sea, I'm going to walk around, move the camera a lot, and that will make everybody seasick. So let's start by doing that. Plus, you get to see some of my beautiful house. Um, so, Deep Blue Sea Project, what do we do? What is our actual mission statement? Well, yes, we want to provide fishing and diving charters for veterans. That's kind of the 5 second response. When I meet somebody in a bar, they shake my hand and they say, "Hey, what do you guys do?" We provide fishing and diving charters for veterans. Okay, cool. So, what's the 15-second response? Well, we provide fishing and diving charters for veterans, and as part of our charter, we also endeavor to get unemployed and underemployed veterans involved in the marine industry. Now, why get them involved in the marine industry? Why does that have any significance? Well, twofold. One, because it's something that I know a little bit about and I think it's interesting. A lot of people are like, hey, you could volunteer and do this and do that. For the most part, whatever you're passionate about, that's what you're actually going to be successful with. And I'm not passionate about, dishing out soup. I'm not passionate about playing golf, but I do love boats. So that's why I chose to focus on that, because if my passion for boats comes through in the charity, then I feel there's a chance it'll be successful in doing what we want it to do. So, secondly, anytime you put the word boat or marine in front of a product, somebody doubles the price of it. As you know, BOAT is an acronym. It stands for Break Out Another Thousand. Boats are expensive. That is a fact of life, also known as a hole in the water that you pour money into. So anybody who gets a chance to develop some skills, work in that industry, has the opportunity to make an honest living and do very well for themselves. If you look at some of the boat builders, especially along the Carolina coast, a lot of these guys that you know now as big name boat builders started out as small builders, handcrafting boats, developing the skills, building bigger and bigger boats over time, and now you've got some incredible companies out there in Wanchese and all up and down North Carolina there, and then of course up in New Jersey as well, making some phenomenal boats. Multi million dollar sport fishing boats, which I think is just fantastic. And so we want to get people who have the ability to show up and do an honest day's work, but may not be ideally suited for sitting in an office or doing some other job that is a little bit different from what they did in the military. So my background, I started out as an 11 Chuck. Started out on 4 deuce mortars. Well, actually, I guess if I'm being really honest, I started out on 81s, 29th Infantry Division Light up in Maryland. Then I went to 4 deuce at 1st to 23rd Infantry out of Fort Lewis. Spent time outside. If you're infantry, you're outside, getting rained on. I was lucky. I was mech, so I didn't have to carry anything. Just throw it on the vehicle. But being outside and seeing a lot of these guys I worked with, they enjoyed that lifestyle. They liked an outdoor lifestyle. It suited them. They were extremely hardworking guys. But put them in an environment, an office environment, something like that, and it may not suit their skill set. But if you can get them into something that they haven't necessarily experienced before, like the marine industry, the hope is that they develop a skill set there that translates into some good earning potential, allows them to be a provider for their families, allows them to feel confident about their ability to provide, to earn, to ensure a level of security for themselves and their families that they desire. And that's what's important to people. They have to feel that they are actually doing something significant, and that thing that they are doing is contributing to their welfare and their family's welfare. That's the whole goal. So that is a big part of what we do, and it's something that I probably have not expressed well enough. I was talking to a family member, and she said to me, she's like, yeah, fishing. You guys do fishing. I was like, that's kind of 1/3 of the story, if that. Fishing is interesting. Fishing is good. We know it's an enjoyable thing for people to do, but it is not the whole goal. Diving is another third. This is a three-legged stool that we're talking about here, and diving is important. The reason diving is important is because from a therapy standpoint, there's been a number of case studies that have shown the advantages of diving, what they do in terms of the impact they have on PTSD for starters. And in fact, if you go to our Facebook page and you go to our webpage, you'll see that we posted up that study that was done that shows that from a comparative standpoint between diving and a pharmacological solution to PTSD, diving comes out on top. Now, how incredible is that? You have a choice between putting more drugs into somebody's body or taking them diving, a few times throughout the year and really experiencing a positive change in stress levels, in anxiety levels, and in ability to cope with different environmental impacts. So that's extremely important to us as well. So really what I wanted to do, and I don't want to make this video too long because, first of all, this whole being in front of the camera thing is a little bit new to me, and it's probably not that interesting for most viewers. But, and secondly, I think if I can get this message across, the important thing I want to share is this is not just about taking veterans diving. This is about as I said, a three-legged stool. Yes, it's about fishing. Yes, it's about diving. It's also about employment and providing that ability for somebody to have security, financial security, purpose in terms of being a provider, in terms of earning a living, being a contributing member of our society, paying taxes and doing all those good things that are required of us. But in addition to that, there's a boat aspect, and this is the part that I like, because honestly, I'm a lousy fisherman. I don't dive. Those are my, Bud and Mark are both my dive masters, and they're phenomenal divers. Me, I'm a semi-good boat driver, and I have a passion for boats, and I like the water, and I love my brothers and sisters. All my veteran brothers and sisters out there. That's what's important to me. Anybody who has ever served with me, anybody who's served, for me, anybody who's been under my command, or anybody who served with me when I was enlisted knows that looking out for soldiers, I'm an Army guy, so looking out for soldiers is the important thing, but it applies to everybody. I had the pleasure of working with some Navy folks, working with some Coast Guard folks, believe it or not, downrange. Did you know we have Coast Guard downrange? All those guys are great, and now I serve on an Air Force base surrounded by Air Force guys. And of course, Mark and Bud, the other two guys who are heavily involved in this, are both Air Force guys. So that's what I'm passionate about. I like the boats. I like the water. I love my veterans. I love the people who raised their right hand and said, I solemnly swear. Those guys and gals, very important to me. So if I can have some impact on that, that's probably the most significant thing I can do. At the end of the day, nobody's going to write a book about me or make a movie about me saying, the longest kill or the highest free fall or anything like that. But if somebody says, hey, I remember that guy, he helped us out. He did a few good things. That's a win in my book. That's an absolute win, and I will take it any day of the week. So I hope that clarifies our mission, our message. a little bit better than I've done before. I know I'm a lousy marketer. I should be better at it. I'm probably a better mortarman than I am a marketer, unfortunately. But hopefully that provides a little bit of clarity. And as always, go to the website www.deepblueseaproject.com or on Facebook at Deep Blue Sea Project. Check out what we have going on. If you want to donate, if you have the ability to donate financially, awesome. Coming up here soon, we'll probably do another raffle. We've done a couple so far in the last 12 months. I think we're going to do another one coming up here soon. And then also, if you haven't read the posts, we are on CFC, the Combined Federal Campaign. Our number is 18712. So if you are in Shaw Air Force Base, Fort Jackson, or Fort Bragg, I will probably come and knock on your door at some point during this CFC season that's coming up at the end of this fiscal year, and be passing out some cards and some swag, and hopefully get a couple of vinyl banners up there in those locations as well with that CFC number 18712. So for my federal employees and my active duty military, if you'll consider us during CFC, that's extremely important to us. That provides a big part of our funding throughout the year. So hit me up with questions if you need anything. It's william.adams@deepblueseaproject.com. Obviously, you can reach me through the Facebook page. You can reach me through the web page, or you can email me at the address I just gave you. And if you have any questions or any suggestions about how we could do this better, let us know. We always have open ears, and we want to hear from everybody. Thanks.